We are live. You guys take a look. This is a beautiful facility. If you've never been here, please stop by, visit, experience this empire for yourself. Tell them what's the location of where we are? What's the address?
Yeah, this is the Boss Barber Studio. It's located at 22 West Antrim Drive. That's in Greenville, South Carolina. And at our other location that's been open since June, that's the Alsmillions, Groomers, and that's 3904 Augusta Road.
What's the difference in the two locations?
Well, this is more of a higher end shop.
Okay.
And I don't want to say that the other shop is more, you know, something that you might be familiar with as a barber shop.
Yeah.
But of course, the service is still the same. We still provide good haircuts, but you might get a couple of jokes over at the other shop. You might get some snaps at the other shop. We're a little bit more sedate over here.
A little more reserved.
Yeah, a little more reserved. But if you want to get a good laugh or get a good joke, you can go across town. If you want to come over here and just lay back and relax and hear some cool jazz,
There you go.
you can come over here. So where you want to go.
And I noticed you have a VIP lounge as well. What type of services do they get if they want the VIP treatment?
Well, VIP we do some hair replacement and some receding hairlines and some things that people don't always want everybody to see, and so we can take them in the back and they can get serviced in privacy.
Okay.
And then also we might have some people that come through, you know, on their way, they're teaching or they're preaching here or they're doing some rappers that might come through and they don't want to be where everybody else is.
Right.
So we can take them in the back and we can give them good service right in the back.
Well, since you brought up, I mean, you got into something I really wanted to talk about when you said wanting services that they don't want anybody to see them getting.
Right.
Let's talk about this man weave craze. Do you do that? Do you offer those services?
Yeah, let me just preface that by saying this.
Okay.
I believe that barbers should be able to give services across the board.
Right. Agreed.
And if a person wants it, they should be able to get it from a barber.
Right.
There are some services that take a little bit more expertise, and you know, it's a bit more time consuming, and you need to know what you're doing.
Right. Exactly.
And so, in that regard, it's a good service.
Okay.
If it's done correctly.
Right.
It's a time-consuming service. I do, I guess, a takeoff of that service because what I do is I use the customer's own hair.
Okay.
And for those that have receding hairlines and have bald spots,
Right.
I replace their hair in that area.
Okay.
And so, of course, it's theirs. It can stay up to 3 to 4 weeks. And they just come in for a weekly touch-up to make sure everything's okay. And that's where I leave it.
Gotcha.
The reason why I do that is because it's affordable.
Right.
Because anybody can come up with $60, you know, and get it done, $30 on the off week, and it's something that doesn't take no more than an hour on the week that I gotta replace it, and it takes no more than 30 minutes on the weeks that I'm just doing touch-ups. So in this business, time is everything. And if you on somebody for 4 or 5 hours trying to do a hair replacement or complete top replacement, you need to know that there's only one of you.
That's right.
And so if you're doing that and you got customers coming in for a regular haircut, how do you juggle those two things? And so I find that barbers that learn that technique have a problem almost immediately because they can't get to their regular clients because this client needs it. And once you get well known to doing that, now you got people coming in, you got people who need to get touch-ups, you got people who have problems, and so it's a whole nother ball of wax that you got to deal with. The other thing is, everybody in every area really don't know it. Before you learn to do this, you should know that you can get clientele.
Okay.
If you can't get people in your chair to get a regular haircut, then trying to get people in your chair to do a $500-600 procedure, you know, you need to think about that.
Right.
Because you know, we're talking about that money plus they're going to come in again for touch-ups, and and to check it out and make sure there's no problems. And so it's a whole another thing that you're getting yourself into. So I know guys that have a problem because now they got this whole man weave thing going on, and then they got their customers coming in, and then they don't know how to juggle.
Time management is everything.
Time is everything.
Yes,
So
sir.
you end up losing money because my thing is if you're not making money in this business, you're losing money. And so just to say I can do it and then can't provide the service or can provide it accurately or good, then you're going to have more problems than you bargained for. So I only say to people, I know guys that only do it on Mondays and Tuesdays. So if you got clients that can fall into that, they come in Mondays and Tuesdays on your slow days, or a slow Wednesday, fine. But you don't want a customer popping up for a man weave on a Saturday morning. You're gonna lose all your clients.
Right.
And so it has to be really thought out. You have to be a professional. You have to be on top of your game. You got to know timing is very important. And so if you can do those two things, by all means, I suggest that you go for it. Personally, I don't have the time to do that. I just don't have the time and the time I would spend doing man weaves. I would miss a whole lot of my clients, and it just wouldn't be good for me. But I'm not speaking against nobody that wants to do it. If you want to do it, by all means, but you need to weigh the consequences.
Okay. All right. There you have it. All right. So tell us, for those of us that don't know, who is Al Reed? Who is Al Reed, the man in the Boss Man Empire? Tell us more.
I tell you, the whole Boss Barber thing came against the last 2 years. But originally, I started out as Alsmillions, or Al the Barber. I started late as a barber, and that's, I think, basically why I've had so many problems lately with family and that kind of thing. But I started late. And when I say late, I mean I didn't really get serious about this thing until I got almost 50. I've been doing it for 30 years, but for the first 20 years, I was just cutting hair. I was just out there, just going through the motions like a lot of barbers, cutting hair, spending money, and didn't have anything to show for it. Okay. So I was completely burnt out from all the years of thinking I knew everything. Nobody couldn't tell me anything, and so I was just cutting hair. Right. But I didn't have no money in the bank account. My bank account, I didn't have any credit. Good credit. Right. I didn't have anything to show for 20 years of cutting hair. And so a little over 10 years ago, I went to the hair show. And I began to look at the things that were being done, and I saw myself teaching, and I saw another vehicle in which I could begin to expand what I was doing. I didn't realize that there was so much we could do aside from just being stuck behind that chair. See, when you're stuck behind that chair, you become a slave to it. There you go. And so you need to know how to make that work for you. And so over the last 10 years, I've been teaching people how to make money aside from being behind that chair. How to make money while you sleep, how to have your own products, how to brand yourself correctly, how to do the things that so many people want to do, but because this is like a secret society sometimes, no one is really sharing correctly how to brand yourself, how to build your business, how to work smart and not work so hard. And so I guess the last 7 or 8 years, we had an organization called ABMAM, Average Barbers Making Above Average Money. We had that, and I started that online. We had a website, and people could come up, and it's still available now. People can go and log in and put their cuts up and chat and network. And so it was on for about 7 or 8 years, and then I think the last 3 years I decided to spend more time on Alsmillions Enterprises, and that's when I began to just brand myself even more and put my products out, do more teaching, do more things that allowed me to show what it was I did. Okay. And of course, make more money. Yeah. Sometimes, the first 7 years I spent so much time helping people and giving people opportunities to do and shine. But at the end of the day, when I went home, I didn't have a barbershop. So I was helping people build barbershops. Everybody, all my friends, all my partners had barbershops that they had either started while working with ABMAM or some kind of way they were able to amass the money and the time. But I'm so busy traveling all over the country, teaching people how to do this and that but I didn't have time to sit down and have my own place. And so, of course, when I did that, you know, some folk got tight lips and folk got upset because they wanted to go on the stage and they wanted to stay on the stage and they wanted to travel. But I had to begin to look out for me and mine. And so 3 years ago, I decided to focus more on me, Alsmillions. The book came out in 2016 of January, and we just been moving ever since. And so, the key really to being relevant and staying relevant in this society, in this world, is to be able to do something that people need or want. I gotta make you want to be better, look better, or feel better. If I can address any of those three things, I will remain relevant. It's my choice. I can make that choice, about being relevant, as long as I'm looking to help you. See, that's the thing about relevancy. You can't be relevant unless you're looking to help other people. The minute you help other people, you stay relevant. But when you stop helping people, you start talking about yourself and being, very selfish, people say, all right, I ain't got time for it.
Right.
And so they don't look at you no more. They don't call you no more. They don't listen to your music no more. They don't do anything about you anymore because they find out that it's about you. So relevancy, you have to be able to do things that incorporate other people.
That's deep. I love that. That's so true. Let's also talk about the best way to capitalize on your opportunities. And I see that in the past 3 years, you've definitely done that with your products and putting yourself,
Well, even the product line. The product line, again, it comes from me wanting to help people. The first thing, I'm a barber, so I see men with bumps all day. Razor bumps and all kinds of things going on that they don't address because they think that that's the way it's supposed to be. I've always had razor bumps. My friend has razor bumps. This is the way it goes. Even barbers have razor bumps, which is crazy to me because, your job is to help him be free of that, and you have it, and then you help him keep his. So you become a conspirator to the crime, and it's just an ongoing thing. It's an easy method to get rid of, but you just got to be consistent and focused on it. You need good products, and the bump terminator is a good product, excellent product. It helps men keep their face smooth and clean. It keeps the hair from curling back into the skin. It helps the face to heal. So even when you shave and you get that burning sensation that I just messed up because I'm feeling this burning, I feel like I'm ready to get broke out. You put this on, that pain goes away almost immediately. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. People that tell me, I always when I finish shaving, I have razor burn because the hair is constantly growing. So once you shave it, and if you shave it against the grain or you shave it the wrong way, the hair's curling back into the skin, and you feel that itchy. And then you start rubbing and you start scratching and your hands are dirty, and then you got the grease and the sweat and the cologne, and you got a combination that's going to cause you to break out. So what this does, it eradicates all that and allows the face to heal. And so what I also found was we have some bumps on our face that they've been built up over time, over years. So it's a bump, it's cut open, a bump, cut open, so it's like it's calloused over. So it's not really a bump. When I say it's not really, there's nothing in it but skin and callous skin, scabs. What happens is you need to exfoliate. So we came out with the Boss Scrub. And we can get a scrub pad and the Boss Scrub, and you exfoliate that area. You scrub that area lightly each week, about twice a week. And that slowly sands away the scab, callous scab over. And you put the bump terminator because once you open up the pores, like this is wood here. Once I sand down to the opening of this wood, it now has open pores. Now I can put more stain or more polyurethane in this piece. Until I do that, this is a smooth piece that will never accept this medicine. So that's why when guys put medicine on their face, nothing happens because it's a smooth bump that has no pores. So the medicine can't get into the pores because it's smooth. Once you take a sanded area and sand that area down, opens the pores, it now can absorb the medicine, and it dries out that skin and dries out that particular area, and it just falls away. So that's what we do. I mean, then I have my shave gel. You know, the shave gel, of course, is for men who shave with the razor. We have the black spray, which has been out for about 10 years now. That's people trying to hide and cover up and that kind of thing. So you know, so those are a couple of things. I do have more products, but those are my major products.
Where can people buy these products?
They can go to admanproducts.com and go out online and purchase those products, or they can come to the shop.
Come here.
But yeah, we do we send products all over the world.
Really?
And Africa, anywhere in the world, our products now go. So it's been a blessing. The only thing I say is you must address a need, and how you capitalize on anything is to first know how it works. So when a barber is watching another barber, you shouldn't watch another barber to find out his weakness, or even a stylist. You shouldn't watch another stylist to find out her weakness, or to find out what's wrong with her, or you know what makes her so great.
Right.
What you should be trying to do is find out where you can help, or where you can make that person better. All of my products that come from me trying to address a need. If you address a need, you will solve a problem. If you solve a problem, you make money. The problem is we're so busy trying to make a problem. We're so busy trying to point the finger at somebody or trying to find somebody's faults that we can't get ideas.
Preach.
So the minute you stop doing those things, you can get ideas. The minute I start trying to find out where you live, where you
right, where you work.
right.
Yeah.
I just want to be your friend. I just want to like you. Right. I just want to know how I can help you. Once that happens, then I begin to I get ideas of how I can open doors for you and help you. And that's how ideas are made. People watch with a clear slate. You don't watch to judge. You don't watch to try to point fingers. You watch to try to help. And if you watch to try to help, ideas automatically come. And then you just need to address those. You just need to find out how you can make that work, and talk to the people that can help you get those products on the market. But that's how you get ideas. But just watching.
Yeah.
And then once those ideas come, you just need to know how you want to address it and how to make it happen.
That's all right. We need more people thinking like that. I mean,
Absolutely, it's simple than just sitting around saying what can I do to make money.
Exactly.
And then you're putting the cart before the horse. You're trying to get a product before you address the need. But if you find the need, the problem, then you can bring a product to address that problem or that need. Right. So think about the need first. Think about what people are going through first, and then the product will come.
There you go. I love it. I love it. So what do you think has been a major factor in the success of your businesses?
I know this sounds corny, because this is people say, Alsmillions, he used to be a preacher, he's blah blah blah, he's that, he's always going to give you those good answers. But I'm telling you, it's simple. It's very simple. The success that I've had comes from me treating people the way I want to be treated. Now, I'm gonna preface that the same. Just because you treat people nice and you do good things for people, they're not always going to return that. So you're going to have to be able to take the bad with the good. As an instructor and as a teacher, I got to be willing to teach you and help you, knowing that once you learn this, you might not want to tell nobody where you got it from. You might not want to even let nobody know who I am. So I teach people all the time how to do things. I help people get their license. I help people do a lot of things. They turn right around and bite me. But if you're going to be an instructor, if you're going to be a teacher, if you're going to help people, then that goes along with the program. That goes along with the process. And very few people can handle that. Few people can handle being turned on.
Right.
Especially after you just help them.
Exactly.
And so, but that's part of being a teacher. To know that the student is not always going to be gracious. They're not always going to come back and say thank you. They're not always going to say, you know what, if it wasn't for him or her, I wouldn't be here. So now if you need that, if that's what that's your momentum or that's your gas, then this is not for you. Because people will take your last and walk away and act like they did.
Exactly.
And you got to be good with that. Okay.
I'm a little witness.
Yeah. So that the secret for me is just treating people the way I want to be treated. I try to plant good seed.
Right.
I plant good seed. And I plant good seed. I know at some point that good seed has to come up. It's just a kingdom principle. It works. Now, believe me, I've planted some bad seed in my life.
Right.
And that bad seed never tells you when it's coming up. But it has to come up because that's the principle of seed time and harvest. When you put something in the ground, it got to come up. Unless you're not planting, you're not watering it. Sometimes you water things unintentionally. So I might still be watering some bad stuff that I planted 5-6 years ago. And it just comes up right in the middle of the time I'm enjoying my new success. And all of a sudden, here comes this bad seed. You remember me? You planted me 10 years ago. And I got to deal with that.
You got to deal with it.
So that's the thing. And so I plant enough good seed to compensate for the bad seed that will come up. And you just deal with it. You know, you deal with it. You try to know that people, for the most part, are good. They have good intentions. But you know also that there's some people out there that are just nasty. And that's part of it. There's nasty barbers, there's nasty stylists, there's people that are ingrates, there's people that are, but I can't stop teaching and I can't stop showing because I run into some foul people. Now I'll tell you, this last couple of years, I ran into some folks, boy, I tell you, I ran into some folks, boy, if I didn't know God on some level, yeah,
If you want a child of God.
Man, you know, because I done seen some, boy, I had some people do me wrong.
Dirty. Oh, yeah.
And I'm not for the sympathy, I'm just saying, you know, and then turn it around like you did something to them.
Exactly.
You know, and so, but that's part of being in business. That's part of being a boss, being a CEO, being a manager, being in charge. You take the blunt of whatever goes on. It's gonna fall on your lap. It's gonna fall on you, the good as well as the bad. So if you're not able to handle criticism, people talking about you, people lying on you, people disrespecting you, then you're not truly a boss.
That's right.
Because a boss or a CEO or somebody in charge handles that.
Man, yes.
That's what I do. You know, I may not get down and dig holes like everybody else. I may not be nailing, but I know how to handle the frustrations and the pains of building business. That's the difference between somebody that works with their hands and somebody that works with their mind. So that's where you need to be. And if everybody's not fit for that, they find out after they've been in it for a minute and say, hey, look, let me go back to the desk with the typewriter and the whatever, and just, you know, be the secretary. I was good. I just all this managing and these folks is backbiters, and I just can't handle that. So they just realize that they don't want to be in that situation. And so, but that it comes with growth. You find out who you are through growth and experience, through people that you meet, and they come into your life for seasons, for times. And so you deal with somebody that you think is your buddy, your girlfriend, this is my ace, and then before you know it, you find out that they're talking behind your back and trying to steal your husband and whatever else. But that you needed that. You had to go through that to go to the next level. See, and next level is next level. Next level doesn't mean you stay down here and hit next level. Next level means that you got to deal with some issues, whether it's in the business, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your kids. Next level is next level. And so we ask for next level money, for next level situations, next level lifestyles, but we don't want it. We don't want to deal with it. And that's what separates the men from the boys and the girls from the women.
Amen. That's true. That's true. So how have you, with all of the barbers, or everybody wanting to be a barber, wanting to be a boss, how have you dealt with competition? What sets you apart from the competition, I guess is the better question.
Again, what separates me from my competition is the fact that I don't look at my competition as competition. They're just barbers doing what they do.
Right.
They're just bosses doing what they do. My competition is with me. The problems that I have are me. You know, I'm the one to say you ain't got to get up in the morning. I'm the one to say I'm gonna stay here. I'm not gonna go to work today.
Right.
I don't need to take another customer. I don't need to do that. I don't need to stay up late to study. That's my competition. Me keeps me from getting what I need. That guy on the street didn't stop me from getting what I need. He didn't stop me from getting my license and studying. I stopped me. So my competition is with myself. See, we found the enemy, and the enemy is us. The enemy is in you. You know, and you got some people out there that help it. You know, they're procrastinators and they help make things worse. But you make the decision that you're not going to go to the next level. And so the competition, regardless of what he does, I need to be doing what I'm doing. See, so my competition is with me. I see within myself the enemy. I know I got to do some things outside of my natural body, whether it's losing weight, whether it's getting education, whether it's getting my temper down, whatever it is about me that's wrong, I got to work on those things. So that's the competition. That's what I'm fighting against. See, and I'm not going to preach to you, but we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We wrestle with ourselves. Those spirits, those things in us that tells us, hey, we don't need to do this. You know, you just cool out, chill out. You don't need to do all that. You ever heard somebody say, you don't need to do all that. And that's the person that keeps you from getting to where you want to be. The only thing that separates you and the guy that's rich is how he thinks. It's how he thinks. The way you think determines where you go. I can tell her something about you right now, and she'll take it and say, girl, you crazy. Al, you don't know what you're talking about. That's my girl right there. And all of a sudden, I planted that seed. And later on that week, you might say something or do something that she will say, you know what? I don't know. Al said that, I don't know what, that might be true. Because what happens? I planted the seed. And if she doesn't have a positive thinking, or she's looking for problems in you, she got one. See, so the only thing that separates us from being what we need to be is what we allow to go into our minds. That's why you need to be very careful about who you surround yourself with. If your friends always tell you, girl, you ain't got, what you doing that for? You don't need them around you.
Right.
Because they will kill everything that you try to give birth to. And so we need positive people. People who say, girl, you can do that. I know you can do it. I've been praying for you. And that's how you become successful. Because you surround yourself with positive vibes, with people that want the same that you want, and don't have a problem with you getting nice things.
Right.
You be very careful. There are people that are envious, and there are people that are jealous. Jealous people want the things like you have, but envious people want exactly what you got.
Right.
They want your car. They don't want a car like yours. They want that one. They want your man. They don't want, so when they're envious of you, you gotta be very careful, because they'll watch and they'll sit and I'm very careful about people who call themselves they're a fan. I'm a fan of yours. I don't want no fans.
Right.
Fan is short for fanatic. And I've had fanatics who I let get into my space. And then because of my ego was such a place where I said they would never do Alsmillions that way, so they got close to me. A fan. And a fan does everything that they do because they want to be around you. So nothing that a fan does, whether it's going to the store to get your laundry or whatever, they always keep in check. So when things don't work out, the fan begins to say, I did so and so and so. And the fan keeps records, because the fan is trying to get you in a position where you never let go of the fan. And before you know it, you have a situation that can get real ugly. So never have anybody in your space that adores you, that always talking about how great you are. The person starts talking to me about how great I am and how much they adore me, they've been watching me from afar.
Right.
I don't want nothing to do with it.
Right.
Because my worst experiences came from people that started out that way. And the only thing that allows it to get worse is your ego. Because you want that. You like, deep down inside, you want people to tell you that you're great. And that you're the best ever. And so you respond to that. And in responding to that, that could be your detriment. So you got to keep it even keel. No matter how great you think you are, you're only as great as your last haircut. That haircut will be gone next week. They won't even remember the haircut. I got haircuts that I've done 10 years ago on YouTube. Michael Jackson, all kind of haircuts that were, at the time were great, fantastic. I look at it now, it looks like somebody, like a little kid did. But you understand that greatness is that time. Once it's done, it's no longer great. So now let's move on. And so, you got to get out of that, letting people blow your head up, and now you acting different.
Right.
Now you don't know me no more because you Alsmillions or you sister so and so.
Right.
I'm the same guy that I was when I didn't have anything.
There you go.
I had now. Believe me, I started getting a big head. The head spoke a little bit. It did, but something happened. It brought me right back down, and I realized that I'm just a barber trying to make some money, trying to make people happy, and that's how I have success. And when every customer that comes in here, I try to address them as if they were my father, my brother, my friend. So that means they're not going to leave out of here with a haircut that I wouldn't give to my father, or my brother, or my friend. I teach my barbers to do the same thing. So when you let somebody leave here, you letting your friend and your barber, your brother go. You letting your father leave out of here. If you look at haircutting that way, now you're doing things that are going to be helpful and advantageous to your business and your customers. And once that happens, once your customer knows you care about them, and it's not about that $20 in their pocket,
Right.
you're done. You're set. They're not going nowhere. They're going to tell everybody they can tell. They're going to love you. They're going to bring you lunch. They're going to bring you breakfast. They're going to bring something to drink because they know you care about them. The problem with most barbers, and especially barbers in this area, is that they just trying to get paid.
Right.
And the customer knows that. So if the customer knows that you're just trying to get paid, there's no loyalty, so he won't come back to you.
Right. He'll chair hop.
He'll chair hop, he'll shop hop.
Right.
Because there's no loyalty. We haven't found common ground. There's nothing between me and you that allows me to come back. And so I teach locking the customer in so that the customer doesn't want to go nowhere else but you.
What's been the most memorable experience that you've had with a customer?
A blind man came in and I cut him. And it's in the book. And after I cut him, he said he could feel the caring in my hands. He could feel the love, and he could feel that I really believed in what I was doing, and that I respected him and cared about him. And he said, "You don't have, I can't see it, but I know it's the best haircut I ever had." And when he left, I was no good. I was like a big baby. Bawling my eyes because the deal was, I just wanted to get through it without hurting him, and I was just, God, I never cut somebody blind before.
Right.
And I just wanted to make sure I did a good job because his senses is what's all he has.
Right.
And so everything when I touched him, he knew I had clean hands because he could smell the cleanness of my hands, which he told me. I could smell your hands were clean. And your hands, and you didn't have dirty nails. I could feel. And there's things that I would never think about. He had honed in on it. And when he left here, or left there that day, that was in New York City. When he left, that showed me how I could be a better barber. Because the things that people are looking for, or not looking for, I had to still do. I had to provide a sense of touch. I teach that. If you got a problem touching somebody, you need to be in this business.
Right.
Because a sense, he needs to know that when I touch him, it's different from when Bob, the barber down the street, touches him. And it has nothing to do with sexuality, it has nothing to do with nothing else but the touch, the human touch, that knows that I care about him. When I put my hands on his shoulders and say, "How you doing today, brother?"
Right.
He knows that that's legit.
Right.
And he knows I really care about how he feels. And so those are the things that go way beyond a haircut. We're not even talking about cutting hair.
Right.
We're just talking about the relationship. Because this is about relationships.
Right. Absolutely.
If you can relate to somebody, we now have common ground. We now have a sense of friendship. And we're locked in.
Right.
So even though the haircut cut may not have been great, I'm coming back because I feel safe. I feel like you care about me. And that's the key to barbering. Now, you can't tell about some of these barbers. They sharpening their blades right now. They want the sharpest they can get it. They wasn't so sharp they can open up the skin, you know. They want, so and they trying to find the latest technique. What can make me the hottest barber in town? Just shampoo that scalp, make sure it's nice and dry. Make sure your clippers, your liners are not zero gap, so you don't cut them open. Make sure everything's clean. Take your time on the customer. Let them know that you care about them. When they leave that shop, they ain't going nowhere else.
There you go. Wow. I mean, I really did not come here expecting to get the word today, but God must have known I needed to meet you today. I really appreciate you.
Well, this is ministry. This is ministry.
This has been awesome.
Because you're serving. And this is nothing of ego. You're a servant. As a barber or as a stylist, you serve. And if you can't get that, then you can't. Because I know guys, they're not servants. They just about them. I'm on the phone.
Right.
I got my jewelry. I got a meeting. I got to do something. I have to cut you. I'm eating. I smell like wings. Weed, everything else.
Right.
So it's not about you. It's about me. I come late. I make you wait. Then I come late and still make you wait. I see them come late, put you in the chair, and then they go outside and talk on the phone. So ministry is different. Because when I say ministry, I don't mean ministry like the book, right, the Bible. I mean that I'm ministering to you. I'm giving you what you need. Whether it's a facial, a haircut, and you're feeling this. And you're singing it. And you say, this is the same haircut I've been getting for the last 20 years, but it just seems different when you do it. It's an experience. And he feels like he's being ministered to, that